The neighbors and things around here said that this is worse than it was in Agnes in 1972.
The water by Klein Road in Chanceford Township is still high after Friday's flash flooding knocked down trees and power lines, destroyed roads, and uprooted campers from their foundations.
The 15 years that our family's had this cabin, it's never even come up close to the cabin, let alone up and into the cabin.
Mud filled David Montgomery's cabin.
Just enough to leave mud.
The flood washed his boat several feet away and damaged a place he calls
our little slice of heaven down here. There was about a 12-foot deck out here the whole length of the cabin.
But not everyone here still has a roof over their head.
That's the house that's gone. That's the shed that's on that pile of debris.
This Chanceford Township man, 80 days from retirement, lost everything. His home of 7 years gone.
This would have happened after dark and I'd been in bed. I wouldn't be here.
When you see all this and knowing and finding out later on it happened in 15 minutes, he wouldn't have had time to get out.
And as some try to piece together what's left,
I wonder if it'll ever be the same.
In York County,
the power of nature is amazing.
Tosin Fakile, WGAL News 8.
It is a situation, doesn't happen often, but that we did respond to and are prepared to investigate and move forward with.
The explosion happened just after noon at the Comfort Suites. Officials say they're not sure if the victims were in the truck or outside of it. A witness tells WGAL News 8 he heard someone scream, call 911.
My boss asked me to get some water, so I got some water. I ran. As I was running, that it was on fire, flaming, and the smoke was really high. When I got about halfway across that field there, the back door blew off.
There were propane tanks on the truck, but officials can't say just yet what caused this unusual incident.
It's a safe scene. Nobody is at risk. Nobody in the hotel is at risk. That's what we determined first, to know if we have to get other people away.
At 17 years old, Alexandria Allen was thrown a curveball in life.
I was involved in a drunk driving crash 7 years ago.
It left her paralyzed from the waist down.
I decided when I woke up from surgery that I wanted to use this for a purpose and help others. You're going to be our catcher?
So Tuesday night, she made her way to Clipper Magazine Stadium to raise awareness about people with disabilities.
I think they'll break it, right? Why not?
And attempt to make history.
Because you literally can do anything if you have the right mindset. Good game.
Alexandria was one of more than 300 people to line the field and be part of a ceremonial first pitch that happened simultaneously, all in hopes of breaking a Guinness World Record.
The current record was held in Japan in 2011 and is 111 pitches.
This was 151 pitches. Arisman says they still have to submit proof of the event to Guinness World Records for consideration, but for pitchers like Alexandria, this was a moment to remember.
Even if you're in a wheelchair, there's really nothing stopping you other than yourself.
In Lancaster, Brittany Garzillo, WGAL News 8.
After waiting several hours at the Lancaster station after train services were disrupted, passengers were brought here to the Harrisburg Transportation Center, and now they have to scramble to figure out how to get to their final destinations after they're being told there's no way out tonight.
Told us that we have to make other arrangements.
Brenda Quick, an Amtrak fan who was brought to Harrisburg on a bus from the Lancaster station, is now frustrated because her 2-day trip to New Mexico is now longer.
We're on our own. It's like 150 of us that's stranded.
And passengers' frustration began in Lancaster, where customers had to figure out their own way, or some take the bus here to Harrisburg.
And after the train shut down, I was literally sitting there for about 2.5 hours to 3 hours.
Everything was smooth up until we got to Lancaster.
Their only advice for people going west is to go to the Greyhound station and try to find something, or to call the 800 number, Amtrak's 800 number. Why don't they call it?
In a statement to WGAL News 8, Amtrak apologizes for the inconvenience, and they say they will gladly waive additional charges for changes to reservation during the modified schedules. Customers will have to call the reservation number. That number is 1-800-USA-RAIL. In Harrisburg, Tosin Fakile, WGAL News 8.
A song and a sea of candles fill Elizabethtown Borough Park as friends and family gather to pray for Blake Shearer, a 16-year-old known as a great kid and a hard worker.
You ain't gonna find a better kid than him.
We want a miracle, first and foremost, for him to heal.
The district attorney's office says Blake was at the park Monday with some friends when a 24-year-old man who was there with his 6-year-old son got upset with the loud music the teens were playing. Investigators say the man walked toward Blake and the two got into a fight.
Should not have happened.
Now the teen is on life support, fighting for his life.
He does not deserve to be what's happened to him. His family does not deserve it.
In Lancaster County, Brittany Garzillo, WGAL News 8.
Safety and security has become of utmost importance.
So the Northern York County School District is making efforts in hopes of preventing school violence. New this year, an armed security officer in both the middle and high schools.
Both of those individuals are recently retired police officers.
Some parents at the town hall meeting applauded this new measure.
Just that presence and knowing that somebody's there that can handle a situation like that just makes you feel a little bit more comfortable.
While others have concerns.
Do you have any evidence that says that putting an armed security officer in our school will actually make it safer?
Also added this year, additional cameras in offices, common areas, and buses.
The biggest priority for us is to make sure that they're thriving students.
The district is also focusing on mental health, having a designated counselor for each high school grade level, and providing free mental health counseling services for students and their families when needed.
All we want is for children to be able to learn and not have to worry about all these other things that unfortunately we as parents stay up at night thinking about.
In York County, Brittany Garzillo, WGAL News 8.
It began very small in our cafeteria 35 years ago.
A lot of Hispanics here, and it's great to just be together, eat some food, dance, laugh, and have so much fun.
More agua, salt.
We have so much good food.
Thank you.
That's the best part, the food.
It's the third one today.
Definitely go to the Dominican Republic, get yourself some empanadas. You want to feel a little adventurous, go to Ecuador and try some goat meat, some seco de chivo.
There's a lot of ethic here. Everybody comes to this festival. In Lancaster knows that this happens every year, and that's what they wait for. I'll put them on the grill, and then you separate them. I know last night we did 2 of those. It was like 150, but this is the secret here, the water. Whatever this water has, that's what sells them. Here, this one's done.
You can go around sampling everything and say, well, I like that one, like that one, like that one. I like them all.
That's really good.
It's like being home.
And perhaps the rain we had earlier in the week has people even more eager to come out and spend a nice night together and enjoy some nice weather.